Welcome to Georgia State Student Radio. I'm Mary Gray. Coming up soon, how a student newspaper article may have led to state legislation. But first, Georgia State University partners up with Facebook in an effort to create a more on-hands training for students. One of the first innovations is a programming club. Georgia State University hosted their first coding event last week. Karen Page has the story. The event took place in Classroom South. Georgia State students competed against two other universities for fun. While the programming club is optional for computer science students, participants showed up in great numbers. Facebook engineer Silas Kumar, who helped run the program, says the student engagement was inspiring.
Recognized the challenge and stepped up to it. Even today, we have a prize for this contest, but I haven't told anyone what it is. It hasn't been widely talked about or publicized. People just showed up because they wanted to learn. And I think that's what's really special.
Over 100 students participated in the event. While the students received no class credit, the experience was rewarding. I'm Karen Page, reporting in Atlanta. Mike Renders, nationally recognized as Killer Mike, spoke at Georgia State University, encouraging students to pay attention to politics. Renders spoke about the importance of voting and knowing the candidates' policies. Killer Mike is a well-known rapper and political activist. Award-winning investigative journalist Mark Morey spoke at Georgia State University. Morey spoke to students and faculty about his documentaries, primarily on his research on Atlanta child murders. Morey says the media coverage and how the case was handled was all political.
I think I've generally set to go almost everything you hear in the mainstream media, okay? It's always on the surface. At the time when it was going on, and there was some evidence that the Georgia Bureau of Investigation had recorded one Klansman claiming responsibility for one of the murders. That didn't really prove to be much, apparently. But it was clear to me that it was political. In other words, the city of Atlanta, this was costing city of Atlanta a lot of money. Conventions weren't coming in, and in fact, if you think about it, Atlanta brought the Olympics here to burnish up the image, to overcome the image of Atlanta as this place where all these kids are getting murdered. There was nothing about the case that made sense. The city of Atlanta, this was costing city of Atlanta a lot of money.
New evidence has pushed for these cold cases to be reopened. Morey intends to work on follow-up to this project. Mary Gray reporting in Atlanta. Georgia State student newspaper The Signal files an open records request and proves a magazine was removed from orientation because of one article. News reporter Ada Wood says the paper was originally told that it was removed for environmental reasons.
So we'd been told, it was for paper usage. They wanted to remove the Urbanite from the new student orientation bags, even though that was something that we had done in the past. And we'd already printed 10,000 copies at that point.
The request revealed emails between administrators displeased over one story. It featured 3 GSU students, a sugar baby, a stripper, and a drug dealer. The article was labeled inappropriate and pulled. The Signal stands behind their decision to publish it. Georgia State University creates Library on the Lawn while their law library is undergoing renovations. Faculty members set up tents, tables, and laptops. Students have access to the pop-up library in Woodruff Park Monday through Thursday from 11 to 4 p.m. Chris Bridges, known professionally as Ludacris, is joining Georgia State University in the fall. Bridges will be teaching classes in the Creative Media Industries Institute as an artist in resident. The university released a press release confirming the news. Georgia State House Representative Billy Mitchell tweeted that he will introduce a fair pay for play bill next year. If passed, would allow college athletes to profit off their name and likeness. His post included an article by The Signal that spoke out about the issue. Thank you for joining us. You've been listening to Georgia State Student Radio. Be sure to tune in tomorrow to learn what's the new addiction that's already affecting 34% of Americans. Mary Gray reporting in Atlanta.